Hi, I'm Tim, and I've just traveled. I'm in Croatia right now, but I spent several days in Kosovo, in Pristina, the capital of Kosovo. And Kosovo is an extremely interesting place for me to visit, and I think for most Americans would find it pretty interesting. First, it's basically the newest country in Europe. It's basically a breakaway republic. It broke away from Serbia just a few years ago, and only about half of the countries in the world recognize it as its own independent country. Of course, Serbia does not recognize it as an independent country. So you're definitely not going to want, if you're crossing the border, if you visit Kosovo first and then you cross over into Serbia, you're not going to want to mention the border crossing that you've been there, because they're not super excited about the country breaking away. And so really, to talk about how to get there, I find it the easiest. I did quite a bit of research to basically travel into Macedonia. The airport there at Skopje is a great little airport, and it's super easy to get from the airport into town by a bus that costs about $3.50, something like that. It runs several times throughout the day. Where in Pristina, it's a little tiny airport, more of a regional kind of airport, and there's no bus service or train service. The only way to get into town is by taxi. It's about 30 miles, so it ends up being like a 20 euro taxi ride. So basically, my advice is to fly into Skopje, hang out in Skopje for a few days, really experience that city in Macedonia. Then there is a bus that's super easy. It's a 2-hour bus that goes from Skopje to Pristina. It's about $6. And you go across the border. So Americans do not need any kind of advanced visa to get into Kosovo. It's like an EU country, and so you can just go right across the border with your passport, and it's a great town. So I got an Airbnb when I was there, and I got the most incredible apartment. It was about $30 a night. I stayed for 4 nights, and it was an absolute huge apartment, huge living room, really nice kitchen, full-size bedroom. So it would easily sleep like, one person on the couch, a couple people in the bedroom, easily sleep 3 people. And it was a brand new building. It was really amazing. But there are plenty of hotels. It's a super affordable place to visit. And it's also a really great, like a walking city. I used my GPS, the first day I got there to kind of wander around, check things out. And I really didn't have to use it, after that. It's not a real easy city to get lost in. A lot of, main streets that you recognize, a lot of landmarks. Kosovo does use the euro, so it's great for travelers that are used to the euro. The euro is kind of almost feels like an all-time low against the dollar. The dollar is really strong, so it's about $1.20 to buy a euro. First time I went to Europe, I think it was $1.45 to buy a euro, so it's about a 20% difference, and that 20% really makes a difference when you're traveling. Kosovo is one of the poorest countries in Europe, so that means for Americans, for travelers, things are going to be really cheap. Your morning coffee, like $1.25, beer in a bar, about $1.50. A restaurant meal, you'll have no problem at a mid-range restaurant, $5-6 for a really amazing plate of food. The people are also there. They're super friendly, and they like having travelers, especially Americans, come and visit their country. It shows that we're recognizing them as an independent nation when travelers go there, and so they're really excited to just kind of share with you and tell you about their city, their culture, that type of thing. Also feels like it's a very young population. There's a large university in Kosovo, so that could have been it. It just feels like they're really ready to get out in the world and kind of change it so that Kosovo is no longer the poorest country and really becomes a very prosperous place to live and to do business. And you can kind of see that there's so many construction cranes. There's probably a dozen construction cranes, the most I've seen anywhere in Europe. So there's a big rebuilding going on, larger office buildings, large apartment buildings. So it's going to change. Like now is definitely the time to visit when it's super affordable and, you know, just super authentic before it becomes like a tourist destination and you get more of the places that are there just for the tourists, like the tourist trap type things. The food, if you've been in the region before, they definitely have some specialties, but you know, you're not going to find pork because it is a Muslim country, but you're going to find a lot of great beef dishes, a lot of really amazing sausages, you know, and restaurant meals are super affordable, so you're able to really get out and, you know, really experience the food. Coffee, I'll give you a tip. I normally order like a cappuccino when I go to a place, and I got there the first day and I ordered a cappuccino, and I got this coffee that had this huge dollop of like the spray can whipped cream and chocolate sprinkles, and I thought that's kind of weird. Maybe it's just this place. And I when I went to the next coffee shop, I paid a little more attention to what people were ordering, and there they order a macchiato. So where a cappuccino is normally maybe a third of the cup, like if you do kind of a cutaway, a third of the cup would be the espresso and 2/3 would be the foam. The ratio of a macchiato is more kind of equal foam and coffee, so it's a little less of the foam. It still makes a really great coffee, but if you go like, you know, be like a local, order the local coffee, order the macchiato. Okay, that's basically it. Just wanted to kind of check in with you guys. Make sure and like and subscribe to keep up with my travels. And also, it sometimes takes a few days to record these videos and edit and get them up. So follow my Instagram so that you can see, you know, instantly exactly where I'm at in the world and what I'm doing. My Instagram is @TimothyStiff, and I'll of course put the link to that down below. All right, thanks for watching. All right, we'll see you guys soon.